What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Movie Review with Daniel Richardson. I'm your host, wait for it, Daniel Richardson. And yes, tonight we're going to be reviewing the Abominable Dr. Phibes. But before we get there, we got some horror movie news for you. Kevin Smith just revealed this last week, because it was Comic-Con, sort of, virtually, his new, or actually I think it was a little bit last week, but I saw it on Monday, so to me it is this week. Anyways, he has a new horror anthology movie coming out called Kilroy Was Here. And yeah, I mean, I'm always on board for a Kevin Smith movie. I don't care what he does. He's only two movies I didn't really care for, and I will say it wasn't even two movies, it was a movie and a segment. He did one of the horror holiday themed horror films. I don't remember what. It's like an anthology. It may just be called Holidays, if I'm not mistaken. But he did like the Halloween segment, and I wasn't huge on it. And then he did Yoga Hosers, which let's not talk about that. But no, everything else this guy has done, I'm a big fan of. I even like Jersey Girl. A lot of people shit on Jersey Girl. I thought it was really fun. And had a really nice heart to it and everything else. So Kilroy Was Here. I'm really curious about this. It's got a lot of, there's all his regulars. We got Chris Jericho in there now. Like, Jericho's becoming a regular, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah, so I don't know. It looks pretty fun. I'm in. It's fucking Kevin Smith. The Rental, which came out last week, which I'm actually reviewing this Sunday on TPS TV, so you want to hear my review on that, check that video out. Anyways, it's number one at the box office. Now, I noticed that they take it to the box office, they kind of taken all the old movies out. Like, because that's all we've been getting lately has just been reruns of old movies. So, like, it was just funny to see at one time, like, the top 10 was literally just, like, Jurassic Park, E.T., Batman Begins. I don't know. It was just a ton of shit. Like, it was all like it's like greatest hits. They had like 2 Star Wars in there, and you're just like, goddamn. But they've altered it, and they were just showing movies that just came out recently. And of course, not a lot of box office numbers. But The Rental was number 1, which I'm really happy to see that. How much did it make? $420,000. It's not making bank, but I think for its budget, that's got to be pretty good, I would think. Anyways, yeah, so The Rental. Like I said, whenever horror hits number 1, even if I like it or don't, it's always like a win for the horror community, am I right? And so, like I said, whether you didn't like The Rental or not, I'm glad that it's, that's what's been doing good, I've noticed, during this COVID pandemic. It seems like the specialty box office, for the most part, it's the horror films. Horror thriller. Relic was like knocking it there for a little. Becky was doing pretty good. So I mean, I don't know. Oh, the one with the deer or the witch lady. God damn, what was that called? The Wretched. That's what it was. The Wretched. I may have been completely off on that altogether. But like, it was doing good. So it's just like, it's good to see, like, in this time, horror is what rises above it all. So that's awesome. So Netflix has released the trailer for Jurassic World. Camp, right here, Cretaceous, that's what it was. My handwriting's so sloppy that I can barely read it myself. Camp Cretaceous, and it's an animated series. And at first I was kind of interested because the concept behind it will be, I guess it's going to take place around the same time Jurassic World's taking place. So while Jurassic World's happening on the island, there's actually a camp for kids. And you get to do camp shit, but then there's dinosaurs there. It's like the friendly ones. However, when the events of Jurassic World unfold and there's, a big outbreak and all dinosaurs cut loose, guess what? Those campers are all by themselves. And I'm like, that sounds pretty crazy, actually. That sounds like a pretty good idea. But then you see the animation, and it looks like, I don't know. It looks like a kid show for sure. I mean, I get it, like, for the most part, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, it does kind of cater to kids. I mean, there's definitely some jump scares or whatever, but for the most part, it's family friendly. But this just seems like it's Nickelodeon or DreamWorks animation. Like, it looks like the animation looks like cutscenes from like a PS2 video game. If that makes sense. Like, it just, I don't know. It looks too like you're literally trying to show this out to children is what it looks like. Like, not even kids, like kindergartners, like preschool to like 3rd grade is like the age group they're trying to market this to. So I don't know. I was kind of pumped when I heard the concept. Then I saw a trailer and I was like, ugh. So I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Let me know what you guys think about this new Jurassic Jurassic World animated series coming to Netflix. Drop down below. Or if you wait till it comes out, hit me up on social media. Let me know how it is. Maybe it's great. If it's great, be like, hey Daniel, check it out. We gotta watch this. So anyways, that's that. Moving on. I'll probably butcher this dude's name. Lars Klevberg. He was the director of Child's Play, the remake that came out last year. And of course, big news this week was that the animated trailer dropped. I haven't watched it yet, or not animated. Sorry, the TV series trailer dropped, and of course they got Brad Dourif back as the voice of Chucky, as he should be. But the TV series is going in a totally different direction. But I, for one, and I'm probably in a minority here, I really liked the remake. I thought the remake was really good. Not just good, really good. I didn't mind. I thought Mark Hamill did a really good job. I liked they took it in a different direction. Like, they said it was going to be a remake. I would have been pissed if it would have just been voodoo again. It would have just been some serial killer, voodoo, in a doll, and then just doing a bad Chucky impersonation. That would have offended me more. The fact that this was like Terminator-type territory, I guess, with a killer doll robot that just goes insane and infects the other ones, and I like that, and I like the fact that it's very 2001. Like, he doesn't realize he's a bad guy. He's trying to be good, but his programming goes wrong, and his love for Andy goes in a different direction. I don't know. To me, I thought it was really good. And anyways, he said he wants to come out and he wants to do a sequel. Problem is, I don't think it's going to happen. The movie did better. Like, it did better in its budget. It got its budget back. It got its marketing money back. But it didn't really dazzle at the box office. And I feel like if they do a sequel, it'll probably be straight to video. And I'm sure the budget will be cut even less. So who knows? The thing is, the last, 2 Chucky movies were straight to video. And they were really good. In fact, I love Cult. I like Cult more than I thought I would. Cult's a damn good fucking movie. Curse was good too. I like Curse as well. So I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not a knock. If the Child's Play sequel winds up just going straight to video, it is what it is. But hopefully they'll take care of it and do good with it. But like I said, I would love to see that story continue. But it is what it is. And finally, the Toronto International Film Festival has released their Midnight Madness schedule, and even this, once again, it hasn't been declared yet if it's going to be a virtual online film festival this time, or if they're going to have some people. I don't know. I would say all signs are pointing to digital. It seems like that's what everything's a virtual online film festival now due to COVID. But they're still stacking their stuff. Like I said, they're still programming. So like they're not planning on canceling. They're going to do it. Whether or not it'll be available to everybody now, or has to go to Toronto. Either way, that's good. That's a good sign though. I'm glad. Like, I'm tired of everybody just canceling shit. Like, the Oscars pushed their shit back, and that irritated me. And they're like, well, we're going to change the dates. And I'm like, don't do that. Like, yeah, you're not going to have the big movies you thought you were going to have, but then that's what makes 2020 special. In the history, in the annals of the Academy Awards 20, 30, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, and the Academy Awards is still going for some reason, and people go back and they're like, what the fuck? What was the deal with 2020? Look at all these weird, generic-ass movies that won. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, it was. Like when Kevin James wins an Academy Award for his performance in Becky. It's going to be incredible. Right. I've never even seen Becky yet. I just know it's the only Kevin James movie I'm actually excited for. Like, I am not a fan of Kevin James. I won't say I hate Kevin James. He's making money, good for him. I don't like his movies. But this is the first time I was like, holy shit, this looks totally different. Pretty fucked up. I'm in. But anyways, so yeah, I'd like embrace it. Embrace 2020 for what it is. It's a fucked up year. We're all agreed to that. Why are you altering shit? It's almost like the Academy has movies they want to win the awards, and they already chose what's going to win. And they're like, fuck it, we're going to make sure these movies win anyways. And I don't like it. I don't like it. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, we're not talking about that. Let's move on now to the main event. I'm talking about the Abominable Dr. Phibes from 1971. This movie, I guess the basic plot of it is Dr. Phibes, who is just all-around brilliant dude. I mean, the guy's a doctor, he's a scientist, he plays the organ. Dude knows his Bible like a motherfucker. And anyways, he's getting revenge against these 9 doctors that he, in his mind, they're responsible for his wife's death. And so he's going to get his revenge and take them all out one by one, using biblical plagues as the backdrop for the murders. And so, yeah, basic concept right there. I saw this movie years ago. My uncle had both movies. It's actually followed by a sequel, Dr. Phibes Rises Again. And I saw them both. I don't remember much of the sequel. I liked it. I remember it wasn't as good as the first one, but I really liked the first one. I really dug, it's a weird-ass movie. And so anyways, years later, I'd get the DVD, and I watch it again. I still love it. And so anyways, had a hole in what we're scheduling here, what we're reviewing. I'm like, you know what, let's review this one. I don't think a whole lot of people talk about this one. They should, but they don't. So basically the plot of it is, I guess fleshing it out a little bit more, it's odd because it's like, I don't know at the years, like what year it could take place, because it feels like it's supposed to take place like in the 30s, but the art design is very late 60s, early 70s. Like it has that Art Deco kind of vibe to it. Go-go boots and fucking weird ass decadent looking art. Like I don't know, it's out there. Like there's no mistaking it's shot in the 70s. But then like it's just like the cars are all 30s. They got the old-timey phones that you got to crank up and shit and talk into. He uses a phonograph to talk through. But then there will also be like regular telephones too, and I'm not sure exactly when the telephone was huge. I didn't know if they had the regular phones or not. But then like there's just like other stuff he has, stuff he created, which I'll get to in a little bit. But so anyways, I love the time setting here. Dr. Phibes kind of reminds me a little bit, there's a little bit of Family Opera there, especially like the Robert Englund one, where he's got to wear all these prosthetics on his face and everything. I won't go through everything blow by blows. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you. But basically what happens is we come into during the second murder, and they explain what the first murder was, and they realize that these murders, and one of them is really fucked up. The third murder is the frog. Because he's basing all these murders off the biblical plagues and the plague of frogs. And so he, at the masquerade party, he gets a guy to put this big frog, fucking like this jewel encrusted frog mask on. He puts it on, but then he tightens it up. He hits a switch or something, and it just starts closing in on him. And it just fucking crushes the dude's skull, and like blood's running out of it and shit. And I'm like, holy shit, that's some Jigsaw shit right there. Oddly enough, it's funny when you go back and look at old Saw reviews. Before the sequels came out, just when part 1 came out, before torture porn was even a word, when Saw came out, the 2 movies they compared it to the most was 7 and The Abominable Dr. Phibes. And that's probably one of the big things. Like his contraptions were pretty ridiculous, especially his final one. It's insane. So anyways, so he's knocking these doctors off one by one. Some of the plagues are kind of cool. Some of them are kind of hokey. Like in one of them, he literally just releases rats in an airplane. Like one of the doctors is just like, I'm a pilot too, and he's flying around in his airplane, and they release these rats in there. I mean, I guess the rats were just hungry. I don't know. He must have starved these rats and then let him loose inside the thing. So they start biting this dude, and then he crashes it. Which, I mean, I guess it's kind of effective or whatever, but still, it's like, I gotta assume the rats died on impact too, so fuck. Anyways, one of them is probably one of my favorite, but it's one of the most ridiculous, is the Plague of Hell. And he basically traps this guy, his old guy, in his car, and he puts this machine on that basically shoots like ice at him. It's like Mr. Freeze's ice ray from Batman and Robin. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I won't go through every plague, but they're all really good. I think the one the really fucked up one, though, I have to mention, is the locust, because he ends up like melting down this vegetation. Like I don't know if it's vegetables or plants or whatever. He melts it down, and then he turns it into like a jelly or like a syrup. It's like a syrupy goo. And he ends up, this nurse takes sleeping pills because she's nervous. Because at this point now they know that there's a killer knocking off all these doctors. And they know which doctors it are now. Like they got them all together. They realize every doctor getting knocked off is, they all work together on one case only. And it was Dr. Phibes' wife. And of course she died, and he holds them responsible. So anyways, she's out cold, and he's above her room, and he, knocks a little hole in there, and he pours that syrup on her, and she's out like a light, and then he drops a locust down there, and they just eat her fucking face. It's insane. And then the last trap is pretty cool. It doesn't quite pan out for him, but the last, he used the plague of the firstborn son. And the main doctor, the head surgeon that was in charge of that, he kidnaps his son, and then he puts him on a gurney, but the gurney is like strapped or chained to this faucet thing. He has this drain above it, and so there's acid coming through it, and he's got 6 minutes until it melts his son's face off. Right. However, the key to the shackle, he implanted it in the kid, like near the kid's heart. So he's gonna have to do the same operation, per se, heart surgery, to save his kid's life. And he's got 6 minutes to do it, because apparently that's how long she lasted. They had that on record. They brought her in alive. They tried to save her, but in 6 minutes she died. So Dr. Phibes is like, I'll give you the same 6 minutes, doctor. Let's see if you can do it. It's great. Fucking Vincent Price kills this role. And the thing is, the movie itself is so ridiculous, but it plays itself so serious that it's just like, I don't know, it works so well. Phibes was in a fire, his face is completely burned off, so that's why he has to wear prosthetics and the wig and everything. But he can't move his mouth, and so he can't talk out of his mouth. So he's got this device in his neck, and he kind of puts a jack into that, and it's hooked up to a phonograph machine, and he just moves his throat like that, and he talks through that. But there's like scenes where he'll use the neck hole. Like at one point, he's got a silent assistant. I don't know who that girl is, but my God, she's gorgeous. But literally, as they're having dinner together and they're drinking wine, and then he'll take his wine, and of course she's drinking it, and then he takes his and just kind of, but his face is deadpan the whole time. It's so ridiculous, like, oh my God. But he just, good. And it's just like, oh my God, it's great. At one point, he's tasting the syrup. He's getting that syrup ready for the locusts, and he gets a little piece out, and he's going to taste it, but he goes behind his neck and puts it in the hole. I don't know. It cracks me up every time. And then you got the detectives, the inspectors, Scotland Yard, who's trying to investigate this thing. And they too, I mean, it's very dry humor, but it's fist humor shit nonetheless. There's one guy who gets killed. He has the curse of the plague of the beast. What Phibes does for that one, he just has this giant like brass unicorn, but he has it on a tripwire. So when the guy opens the door, when the doctor opens the door, it just swings down like Home Alone style and impels him into the wall. Now, when it impels him in the wall, the unicorn horn, it's like a spiral or whatever. They can't just pull it out, so they're having to spin it. And then in the background, you just see the doctor spinning like this dead stiff corpse, just going and starting. I don't know. It's brilliant. But once again, even with all this dark humor they throw in there, it's played straight. And I think that's what makes it work. I think that's why they take this kind of over-the-top premise, this insane thing, and they definitely just kind of, they put all this humor in it, but they play it straight. There's a scene where the inspector goes to talk to the guy who made the necklaces, and it's just like that whole conversation is just hilarious. But once again, they're investigating this murder, and so it works. Like I said, it's a weird movie. I don't think everybody's going to like this movie, especially today. I just feel like everybody's going to look at me like, it looks old or it looks out of date. But that's what I like about it. Like, even though it's clearly made in the 70s, it's clearly, had that look. It almost had a timeless quality to it, though. And it has a really cool ending. I like the ambiguous. I mean, it didn't seem ambiguous the first time I watched it. I didn't know it had a sequel. The first time I watched it, I won't give spoilers, but anyways, the way he ends it, it's like, holy shit, like that's final. But then they're like, well, he's got the 10th plague to go. We gotta stop him before we gotta try to figure it out. And sure enough, he will return, and Dr. Phibes rises again. So, anyways, like I said, the acting's very hammy and over the top at times, but it works. And like I said, Vincent Price just kills it. He really does. I highly recommend this. Like I said, now don't watch it expecting like Saw from the 70s. It's only slightly because the contraptions are so kooky, and there's a whole he's putting punishment on these people. He's using the plague, even though it never really says they were at fault or not. Like, I don't think they were. I think it was an accident. But this guy's just so fucking crazy. He's like, fuck it, I'll kill them all. But anyways, I recommend it. Check it out. It's a fun watch, especially in these self-isolated. But I don't know, is everybody still self-isolating? I just know in my town that shit's over. Like, we're all wearing masks, or we're supposed to be wearing masks when you're outside, but like, it's almost like they're just like, get your ass back to work. We don't care about if you're afraid to get sick or not. Get back to work. This product ain't gonna move itself, so I don't know. But if you're still self-isolating, I say check out this movie, The Abominable Dr. Phibes. I don't know if it's playing anywhere online, because I have the DVD. That's how I watched it. It may be on Tubi. If not, check it. Look for it. The movie's old enough, and MGM, they got enough money, so fuck them. Try to find a bootleg copy on Hulu 123 or some shit like that. Anyways, that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time. Later. Oh, shit. Didn't know what you're on. Sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up. Share it. Subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Dark Side. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go, right there. So be sure to get on, give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the public domain dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh yeah. So that's all we. Oh my God, sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? Yeah, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.